Tonight, from Ford Field in Detroit, it's Week 3 of the NFL preseason on EA Sports. As we'll see Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions versus Jimmy Garoppolo and the Chicago Bears.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at Week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stafford, the veteran, former #1 pick back in 2009.
And his arm strength is often described as out of this world, and I've seen some throws out of him that are just really off the charts. But sometimes he relied on his arm so much his footwork got in the way, led to some inconsistency. But I've loved watching him evolve as a quarterback. He gets better and better each year.
On 1st and 10, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Stafford. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Here's Stafford. That's complete to DeAndre Swift out of the backfield. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
A loss of 2 yards.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
Here comes the Lions punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Oh, what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So here are the Bears backed up to start their initial drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball. Run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now a first carry from Melvin Gordon. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3. A gain of 3, second down.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
On 2nd and 7, Garoppolo gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. He's got him in. Complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A big play there for the Bears on 3rd. 46 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively. And then they got hit with that big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Johnson, the ball carrier.
Charles, we're going to look at the draft class here for this team. What do you think?
Well, I think for the most part, I do like what they did because, to me, they got some solid players in the early rounds. And then if I'm correct in my evaluation, they got some great value in the later rounds as well.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Stafford. He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Johnson.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he's going to be about a yard or 2 short of the first here. He needed the 35 but didn't make it. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They snap it to Stafford. And that is going to be incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Bears will get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs in that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, he's definitely a big target out there, listed as 6'4", and he used every one of those extra inches to go up and make that catch.
first down. Stafford here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
We're scoreless after 1.
Quarter with no score.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing again is Stafford. They'll try and set up the screen with Swift. And he's going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, he lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
The pass. A fumble on the play.
Able to fall on it, but look where they recovered it. That's a big loss.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford dumping it off for Johnson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
On 4th down, Stafford. He's got his man. It's Williams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Oh, that was a pretty route right there because it's all about finding a window on a route like that. He lined up on his left, ran the deep in route over the middle, and the ball was right where it needed to be. Really good.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. The sack there by Roquan Smith.
Brought down back at the 20.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
The pass. A fumble on the play.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. With that last pass, he just went ahead of Warren Moon on the all-time NFL career passing yards list.
And that's Hall of Famer Warren Moon. A significant accomplishment to be able to pass that number. Somewhere Warren is saying, But what if they added my Canada yardage? Right? My time in the Canadian Football League, that's 21,000 more yards that could be added to Warren's total.
In the NFL, he had 49,325, and now you're looking at a man that is very close to 50,000. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It's not like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting a 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
On first down, Garoppolo. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
2nd and 5 at the 34-yard line.
Garoppolo looks to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And they'll take it across midfield and down the 48-yard line.
Garoppolo's pass.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Eddie Goldman, his 2nd sack of the night.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. He's going to get that to Swift underneath, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He connected on his first, this from 41. The kick by Sanders is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6.
Bears nothing.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Will get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. That is caught by Cohen. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
First down, Chicago.
Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Albert Okwuegbunam. As the first half is winding down. And the Bears can grab the lead with the extra point.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. The extra point splits the uprights, and that will give them the lead here as we get on towards halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. 23-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll get this off to Swift. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the three-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he will have the Bears 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Gordon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it fourth down.
Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in points, of course. One team, hey, we kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, in our player spotlight. He's been pretty good when he's had time. The issue is, as we see here, a lot of time. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of
a good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Johnson. And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 39. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
This pass finds its way to Williams. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now an option play on 2nd down. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. An injury timeout here, as I believe. Yeah, that's DeAndre Swift. Swift is still down. Definitely the last thing you want to see here at a preseason game. We'll be right back. And he is going to have a Lions first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize he's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 12-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from the first down.
And stopped him in his tracks. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
Play action. Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Bears will extend their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now it's the backup Mariota. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Mariota now to throw on first down. And it is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 7.
From the gun, Mariota. Over the middle, complete. It's Kennedy. And he takes this one in for the Lions touchdown. A big play there. 51 yards. And the Lions are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
Jason.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Cohen on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10. At their
The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Foles going to lead the Bears to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 22. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
yards to go.
Foles. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
A gain of 9 yards.
That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run it with Cohen. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Now Foles. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Foles took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking. What would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them. Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. First down, Mariota. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Kennedy. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. To throw is Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mariota. Oh, no complete. That's Reese. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
And he's going to keep it here. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Mariota on first down. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5. At the Bears, 18.
Now Mariota. Now they'll set up the screen to Huntley.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And at the 13-yard line.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a first down in field goal range already. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Reese. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to lose yardage here. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. On 2nd down, it's Reese, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we...
Oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Davis. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Jason Sanders.
A little bit of a backbreaker right there. You're down close, one-score game, trying to push the ball down the field and score, and you throw a pick six.
And sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble when you're making your throws, right? Sometimes you press it a little bit more than maybe you wanted to because you want that score so badly. In this case, it cost them.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bears take over 1st and 10.
Foles ready to lead this offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. A little over 40 seconds to go. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 49. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. 2nd and 11 now. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better.